All right, so you may not always get to finish the warm-up, but you should always start it on your own. Does everyone understand? You walk in, no questions, just knock it out, okay? Um, Notice in the blue what our objective is, in the red what is due is what you got yesterday. It says 819, that's yesterday, multi-step equations. If you lost it, weren't here, whatever, you can get an extra copy back there in the blue bin. I upload everything to Google Classroom as well, so it should be there. All right, and then it says Quiz Friday. It's going to be over solving equations and inequalities. That's the next 2 days, inequalities. Cool. So here's our warm-up. Let's solve this. Number one is like yesterday's notes. Do y'all remember yesterday we talked about what if there's parentheses? You have to distribute. And what if x is on both sides? We get rid of the smaller x, okay? So number one's like a combo problem, so let's do it. First step, I see parentheses. It's time to distribute the number in front, the coefficient. So I'm going to do negative 2 times x, negative 2 times negative 7, okay? What is negative 2 times x? Whenever you have a number times a variable, you stick them together, right? Negative 2 times x, stick them together. Now, negative 2 times negative 7. Hopefully we know a negative times a negative is a positive what? 14 equals 3x minus 6. You can bring that down. Is that calculator dead? Was that calculator dead? Okay, let me, one second. Okay, now look, x is on both sides, right? X is here, x is here. Well, we're going to have to do what? Do we combine them together or do we get rid of one? Who thinks we combine them? Who thinks we get rid of one? You don't know? Okay, well, here's a reminder from yesterday. When x is on both sides, my question is, can it be on both sides at the very end? We need just one x, right, at the very end. So when x is on both sides, you have to get rid of the smaller x. That's what we put on our notes yesterday. So which x is smaller, negative 2x or positive 3x? Negative 2x, right? So how do I get rid of a whole negative 2x? What's the opposite? And this is where some people think we should divide, but we're not dividing, okay? We're going to move the entire negative term. So what's the opposite of negative? Positive, right? Opposite of negative, positive, you know? Yeah, okay. So to get rid of a minus 2x, we're going to put plus 2x. And if we do it on the left side, we're going to do it on the right side. Plus 2x on both sides. Scratch it out on the left. Bring down 14 equals. And then what is 3x plus 2x? 5x. Okay. Bring down that minus 6. All right. At this point, we have a two-step equation, and we have done this a decent amount of times. You should be able to, at this point, know what to do. The side of x is on the right. You want to get rid of the loner on the right. The loner on the right is a minus sign 6. What's the opposite of minus 6? Plus 6. Okay? So again, we're getting rid of the loner. We do the opposite. 14 plus 6 is 20. Bring down 5x. And remember, the last step to get rid of a coefficient 5 is to divide. 5 and x are multiplying. The opposite is to divide. 20 divided by 5 is 4. We do have those yellow calculators in the back. We're going to start getting used to the Desmos here soon, okay? That's number one. Now number two. Does number two look more complicated? Lots of extra terms, okay? Here's the deal. When you got a lot of stuff, you want to simplify it first. You want to see if there's anything you can combine. So check it out. Look, 2x and negative 4x are on the same side of the equal sign. They're both on the left, right? Like if I drew a line here, 2x minus 4x, they're on the same side on the left. So we're not going to get rid of anything. If they're on the same side, you combine like terms, okay? Same side, combine like terms. So what's 2x and minus 4x? 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4 should give you negative 2x. And then that plus 3 does not combine because it doesn't have an x. It's just a number, right? So bring that down. Bring down that plus 3. Okay? So the x's combine. The constant comes down. Equals on the right side. Notice on the right side there's only one x. So there's no other x to combine. Just write it. X. Cool? However, do you see how there's two regular numbers, two constants? Those will combine because they're like terms. What's negative 11 minus 4? Negative 15, so you put minus 15. Okay, again, calculator can help you. Do you see how your first step might be combining like terms? Only combine if they're on the same side of the equation. Number one was if they're on different sides. That's when you get rid of the smaller one, okay? Now, this step reminds me of the second step of the first equation. When x is on both sides, now we're going to get rid of the smaller x. But which one's smaller, negative 2 or positive 1? The smaller one is actually the negative number, right? Negatives are smaller than positives. So how do I get rid of a negative 2x? Opposite is plus 2x. Plus 2x. Okay, 3 equals. Now, y'all remember last Tuesday we did some invisible math? What is invisibly in front of this x? A 1, right? So it's really a 1x plus a 2x gives you a 3x. Cool? Bring down minus 15. And I, again, hope by now you can do the two-step equation pretty quickly. You get rid of the loner on the side of x. The opposite of minus 15 is plus 15. You get 18 equals 3x. Last step to get rid of a coefficient is to divide. X equals 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay? So you're going to see all types of stuff. Distribution, x is on both sides where you get rid of one, or x is on the same side where you combine them. You can see any of these variations, okay? We are officially in multi-step mode. So here's your priority, okay? If you still haven't turned in last week's stuff or need to fix last week's stuff, you can, but your priority is yesterday's assignment, okay? The one you got yesterday, multi-step equation. Does everyone see that down here at the bottom? Finish yesterday's assignment. If you lost it, please go get it out of the blue bin. If you finish yesterday's assignment, there's an assignment for today. It is next to the turn-in bin. So look over here. Right here, look. Next to the turn-in bin, today's assignment. If you finished yesterday's, please come grab this. We're doing mixed practice of all these different possibilities, okay? So, happy to help. Let me know if you have questions, but finish yesterday's assignment, then grab that one. If you're already done with yesterday's assignment, go grab that one and get started on mixed practice. That's what it's called. Cool. All right, here we go.